Dropping huge dollars on weddings. Is it worth it? This is the Joyfully Married After podcast, episode 5. This is Joyfully Married After with Heath and Tracy. I'm Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
We're joyfully married after how many years, baby?
26.
26 years, 4 kids, corporate jobs, entrepreneurs, and this podcast is our view on life through our lens.
Let's go. Okay, so what are we talking about today, Heath?
We're talking about spending money on marriages, on weddings rather, and whether or not people are using that as an excuse not to get married when really what should be happening is, regardless of your financial situation, you should just get married.
So you did have a little Freudian slip there. You said spending money on marriages.
So the point I wanted to make was that if you are well-heeled and you have the money to spend on a wedding, a big wedding, you want to do a big wedding or fancy,
go for
whatever,
it.
that's fine.
Burn it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
But the thesis of this particular conversation is, do we put too much emphasis on this big wedding and therefore we use that as an excuse not to get married because we're not in position to have this big wedding?
Agreed.
And so the thought process really came up from during the NBA basketball season. And I happened to be walking across a television. And
walking across a television?
So I was...
Walking across a television?
Okay, let me explain. So we were in Atlanta, and we were at the Top Golf in Atlanta.
Walking across the television.
As a matter of fact,
I get it now.
And actually, we were in the midst of making a video.
We were?
Yes, we were making a video for our YouTube channel.
Okay.
And we were at the Top Golf, and it was a vlog because all of our family was together, which is very cool, right?
Very
there
cool.
were
Very
6
cool.
of us. Actually, there were 8 of us that day because that was
my
a
mom
little
and my
bit
brother
about
were there. Yeah.
a little bit of our extended family. That's another conversation that we should probably have. What it was like.
Not today. Today we're talking about.
But what it was like to have 8 people living in the same house.
Woo! Yeah, we might want to talk about that.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Okay.
we had to put that down as a
like
topic.
that.
Yeah, that should be funny. So we were at Top Golf doing our vlog. And I was walking past a television.
Okay, I get that one now. I can visualize.
I was walking across the television, and it was during the NBA season, and there were some sportscasters that were having a conversation about Russell Westbrook.
Oh, I think I remember this now.
And the conversation was Russell Westbrook missed the last shot of the game. And they were having the conversation as to whether or not Russell Westbrook was less valuable because he doesn't have this phenomenal track record of making the last shot in the game.
He's not the money guy.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Was that not quite right?
I think that's really the conversation. No, you actually hit it on the head, baby.
Okay.
You actually hit the nail on the head, right? Is it more important that Russell Westbrook is just ripping up the NBA every night? I mean, triple-double. He's passing. People are making shots. He's going to the hole. He's dunking on people. He's bringing attitude. He's scoring 20 points a night, 30 points a night.
But he's not a closer.
He's grabbing 10, 12 rebounds.
Okay,
he's making everybody on the team better.
I get it.
He makes the franchise better.
I get it.
He makes the city better.
I get it.
He makes the NBA better.
Okay,
So should the fact that every now and then he doesn't make the very last shot of the game diminish the value that he brings to the table every night? And so the analogy is how it struck me was, does the fact that I don't have this giant wedding, should that
impact the value of the marriage?
Right. And therefore, should I not get married?
Because I can't have a big wedding.
Right. When the answer is, in my view, is that your life is 3x better when you're married.
Oh, we know this.
So why should me not being able to have a giant wedding inhibit me from getting married when that's where all the value is?
I think people are putting too much emphasis on the actual ceremony and the
Right.
festivities, and they haven't even thought about the actual marriage.
Right. Right. And so that was really the point of where the conversation was emanating from.
Yeah, there's so many pluses to marriage, and the important thing is to begin moving in your life together.
Yep.
And you've got this great person you found that you will exponentially multiply the good that you will see. So people have this picturesque idea of what their wedding should look like. And when they get there, the next thing they think about is the cost.
Right. Right. And the thing is that you have to look at the people who are getting married today. The majority of the people who are getting married today are millennials or younger people. The majority, not everybody.
I guess I don't have a stat for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we can assume. Let's say that.
So let's assume for a moment that the majority of the people who are in position to be married, to get
or
married,
thinking about a marriage,
thinking
having a big
about
wedding,
marriage,
let's just say that,
in serious relationships,
Yeah,
wanting to be married, and certainly, we can point to the economic scenario for millennials and how it's much different than the generations that have come before them.
So different.
And so the point is that that forces some creativity, and it enhances the pressure, I think, where traditionally their parents and their grandparents have had these weddings, have ideas and paradigms about what a wedding, quote, wedding
right, but
should look
it didn't
like.
cost what it costs today.
Exactly.
Like our wedding, if you duplicated our wedding, it would probably be at least double, if not triple.
Today.
Yeah. So
Then it was in 1990.
Exactly. But the money isn't doubled and tripled unless your mother or your father saved up for it, which I guess, okay. But it hasn't doubled. So why are you having that same? So I hate to say it, but you shouldn't stretch yourself and you shouldn't stretch your parents.
Truth.
You shouldn't be borrowing money to have them. And this is our opinion, guys.
Yeah.
This is just strictly our opinion.
Right.
Do what you want to do, but these are our suggestions.
Oh, people going to do what they want to do now.
People going to do. Grown folks do grown folks. Because, think about it. There's so many things you have to do when you get married. You got to find a place to live together. You have to furnish your first apartment or your first home together.
You got to hit the IKEA, hit the Target.
How much is that?
$1,800, $2,000
At least.
Just to furnish a small apartment.
At least. So, okay, let's say one of you has furniture, but you want a new life together here.
Yeah.
So let's redo some of this.
Yeah, you got to pick up some things.
Right. Another thing you have is what?
You got to make that down payment if you're going to buy a house.
Or you have student loan debt.
Student loan debt is serious.
So you need to save to pay off that. I would suggest if somebody gave us $25,000 for a wedding, I wouldn't be throwing it at no party.
You know the average student loan debt is right now for people who are coming out of college?
No, what is it?
The average student loan debt for a college graduate in 2016 was $37,000.
Wow.
That's average.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo! So you need to be making 90 to be comfortable comfortable servicing that and not having to pay that for the rest of your life?
Is that what the majority of the millennials are making after they get out?
No.
Yeah.
So how you thinking about a $25,000 wedding?
So here's the point. The point is that, hey, your family may be well healed. Maybe you did hit the line.
We're not talking to rich folks.
Right.
We're not talking to people who are well off. We're not talking to people who can spend whatever kind of money on whatever kind of wedding at the drop of a hat and not think about it. We're not talking to those people.
We want to give a voice to the people who want to be married.
Yes.
Who are in committed relationships.
Yes.
And think that they shouldn't get married because
they don't have enough money to get married.
To do the big wedding.
Right.
Or to do the wedding that their parents or their grandparents think they should do.
Right. What's something else you should do with that money other than have a wedding?
Financial people will tell you that you should have some kind of emergency fund.
You think?
Because you're going to have some emergencies out here.
What kind of emergencies? We just got married.
So, that car you're driving?
Yeah.
It's
new. Wait a minute. My car is new and I have a warranty.
Oh, okay. So how about...
What is the maintenance like on a car these days?
It's a lot.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. How about tires on the car?
Tires. What about something that's not under warranty? What if someone breaks in your car I know we sound really morbid, don't we? But what if somebody breaks in your car
Right.
while you're on your honeymoon? And yeah, you got to come up with that deductible.
Yep. What about some kind of unforeseen medical emergency?
Oh, that's so sad. I've known that's happened to people.
Yeah.
They've gotten sick on their honeymoon.
I mean, you have
and they come back and they can't go to work because they got sick.
Yeah, you have insurance and those kinds of things.
Then what do you do?
But you have deductibles, and then you have things that the insurance companies won't pay for.
Oh yeah.
So now you got to come out of pocket to pay that cash.
What if you come back from your honeymoon and you no longer have a job? That's happened to people I've known.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm old, huh?
No, baby.
I'm just saying.
Baby,
I've known somebody who went on a honeymoon and that one of them got sick and couldn't work. I know somebody that something got broken into while they were on honeymoon. They came back, and I know somebody that lost their job while they were on their honeymoon.
Yep. I think we were working together one time where it was the end of the fiscal year, and somebody went on the two-week vacation.
They were on a 2-week vacation in Europe.
Yep.
And had to come back
because they got laid off.
Yeah. It's ugly.
Yeah.
It's ugly out here, y'all. It's ugly.
Stuff happens.
It happens.
And so the point that we want to make is that all of these things can impact your marriage and impact your life.
Well, wait a minute. What if I have my emergency fund?
Okay.
What if I was in school on scholarship and I don't have student loan debt?
Okay.
What if my car is paid for because I got it for a graduation gift?
I like it. You winning.
And can I have a $25,000 wedding now?
Do you have $25,000?
Boom.
You can do whatever you want if you have the money, but you don't want to go into debt unnecessarily just to have your $25,000, $30,000, $50,000 wedding.
But why not? I have everything else taken care of.
Yeah, well, that's today.
Yeah.
Because that can change tomorrow.
It can change. Let me tell you, it can change.
Some of those things that we just talked about can impact you, and the other things that can happen. So.
What about a 6-month emergency fund instead of a 1-month?
Yeah, I think experts talk about.
They say 9
3.
months.
I think
now.
It's like
no,
3 to 9.
No, it is 9. It is hard.
9 months.
9 months.
9 months.
Now it takes 9 months. If you're a professional, it takes 9 months to find a job to replace the one that you lost.
So if your expenses are $2,000 a month.
Oh, you living, child? Okay.
I'm saying if you're a millennial.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Millennial with roommates and living in Walking City. And
absolutely.
Oh, we know one of those, don't we?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right.
So if your expenses are $2,000 a month.
Yes.
And you need 9 months of expenses.
How much is that?
$18,000 cash in the bank.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. You need that.
You need that.
You need to be real comfortable like that out here in these streets.
Right. Because it's serious.
It's serious out here, guys.
Right.
Why are we saying this? Why are we being the heavies on this, Heath?
We are, because we're advocates of marriage.
We are.
We are relationship strategists.
And we love you guys, and we want you to get married, and we want you to be successful.
Especially if you want to get married.
And happy
right
in your marriage. So these things are going to affect your marriage. Money, not having money, sickness, not having sickness, it's going to affect your marriage.
Yep.
If it's going to take you 5 to 10 years to pay off your wedding, how are you going to feel about having kids or even buying a dog? That's what they do these days. They go buy dogs.
Why you cracking on the dog
I'm
lovers?
sorry. That's why we don't have a dog, because we have kids. I get it.
There's a lot of dog lovers out there.
I know. I'm not. No.
A lot of cat lovers out there.
No. Cats are my favorite.
Yep.
I'm a cat woman.
You do like cats.
But I love doggies. But I don't have a dog and I don't have a cat because I have children.
Yep. 4 of them.
So I get it. I get why you get a dog.
mercy.
I get why you did I get why you get a cat. But if you want to do something in 5 years, you want to do a vow renewal, or if while you're engaged or while you're dating, you're going to have this big wedding and you save specifically for that wedding, that is great. But ask yourself, If I had $25,000 drop right now in front of me, would I spend it on a wedding?
That's the question.
Can I crack for a second?
Go ahead, baby.
What about people out here that are not spending that much on a big wedding?
What about them?
Have you attended one of those lately?
Of course.
What guys, that's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. Dry chicken, disorganization, cramp in a room is not a fun party. We want to celebrate your union.
Right.
Make it a barbecue. Make it something light. Have it at a park. You know, have people dress up cute, go to a really nice park area. Think about how you trim that, but still deliver a quality function.
Right.
We're not doing that out here.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But the thing is, I think that even though those things occur, I think that the bigger picture, what I like, is that people are making the decisions to formalize their unions through marriage.
I like it.
And even if it's not the flashiest, coolest ceremony,
right,
they're going through with it.
Right.
They're doing it anyway. They're making it happen.
I got you.
Which is what I like about that whole scenario.
I got you. I agree with that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's lots of ways to do things. But the point I think that we're making here is don't let not being able to have the big wedding inhibit you from being married, and don't overspend just to get married.
Well, what do we do for our wedding here?
We
out here judging and everything.
We're not judging. We're giving our opinion.
I'm just saying.
We had a phenomenal candlelight ceremony in West Palm Beach, Florida. Oh, many moons ago.
So I'll tell you what happened. So I was in my final semester at school, as was Heath. We were graduating in May, moving to another city in June, and getting married in July.
We got married in June.
Oh, how did we do all that?
We graduated in May. We got married in June.
And we moved? Yeah, we did. We moved all in 1 month. I remember now. So I never remember our anniversary. I'm so sorry, baby.
It's okay, baby.
So when I think about that, I think about when I first started planning my wedding, and I was in my final year of college.
Right.
And I remember my dad was pretty well connected, or is pretty well connected in the community that he lives in.
True.
And I think the list had gotten up to about 300 people.
Yep.
And I sat there one night looking through invitations and looking at my 6-month-old or 3-month-old or however else she was. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for a big wedding.
Yeah.
I don't. And that was my quote unquote excuse.
Yeah.
I was trying to graduate.
Yeah.
I was trying to graduate, and I was trying to take care of a baby.
Yeah. And I think that all of those things also put you in the mindset of,
we need money for different stuff.
And I really don't feel comfortable in spending money on that if we can use money over here for this.
Right. So my father and I decided to dial it way, way, way back.
Yep.
And we invited about
25 people.
25 people, family and close friends only.
Yep.
It was a candlelight evening ceremony at the church.
It was beautiful.
And I was an hour and a half late. Sorry, baby.
That might be another story too. Huh? Our wedding day. Why Tracy was an hour and a half late.
And I got my wedding gown from a renowned high-end consignment store.
You did. Yes, you did.
On the Isle of Palm Beach.
Palm Beach.
And my uncle was a photographer. I will tell you this.
Yep.
Spend money on your photographer. If you don't spend money on nothing else.
Shade.
Take pictures. Love you, Uncle Ronnie.
Shade.
But if you said one thing I would spend money on, it would be the photographer. And we had a wonderful candlelit dinner at a higher end hotel.
We did. Yep.
Fully served. 5 or 6 courses, flowing champagne. It was wonderful.
Yep. Shout out to Marriott.
And my father did everything without my help. Thank you, Daddy. So
Charlie Wilson.
And he didn't hurt to pay for it.
Right.
And we didn't worry about what the bill was afterwards because it wasn't atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a decision we made just because of the circumstances of our life and our life at that time that Heath and I got married.
Right.
And I will tell you, I'm so glad we did it like that.
Yep.
Who wants to be concerned about paying bills for what you had a one-night party for? Mind you, you only get married once. Like I said, get a really good photographer.
Yeah.
And you will enjoy it thereafter, no matter how small it is or how quaint it is.
Right. So we want to use that story and provide some examples of what you can do if you get married and you aren't able to have your super duper dream wedding and that kind of thing.
Oh, I love this. Go ahead.
What are some options that you could do, Tracy?
Okay, so if you've ever been, and I know this is kind of far-fetched for some people, but if you've ever been to San Francisco, their courthouse is absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
It's minimal to get married there. And like I said, you pay for a photographer, you go ahead and buy your dress, and you can have a beautiful memory made at a very, very low price.
So I live in North Carolina. I live in
You
Florida.
can still get married at the courthouse in San
Atlanta.
Francisco. Yes, you can.
What?
Yes, you can.
So I just get a flight,
Yeah.
bounce out there,
Yep.
and do my thing.
Do your thing. The courthouse is absolutely gorgeous. If you can just Google San Francisco courthouse weddings, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's very interesting. Tracy.
Now, recently we saw an article, and who's giving weddings now?
Who?
Taco Bell. It's a little jokey, I know.
Tracy, I'm getting mad at the Taco Bell.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But somebody might want.
Somebody might want to.
So they give you a full spread catered with beer and wine for $600.
Boom.
Wow.
Sound like a party.
That's a party. And I'm sorry, the millennials, y'all like Taco Bell.
Everybody eating.
$600?
Everybody eating. I got married and we had a good time.
And I want to say it's like for 150 people, something like that. I don't know. Look it up.
Yeah, right.
But
the point is what? That you can, there are creative ways to do a wedding.
I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we have a really cool park here in Raleigh called Pullen Park.
Yep.
It's beautiful. It has these covered spaces that it's not air conditioned or anything, but they're very, very nice. Some of them have fans. Some of the pavilions have fans.
Yeah.
And I've seen a wedding out there, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is really pretty out there.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. And
So if you can find a really pretty park,
Yeah.
I think it was catered. You can have it easily catered by your favorite fun kind of food place and make it really, really nice. You can hang lanterns from the trees and make it really, really pretty.
That sounds really cool, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about maybe after a few years, after you have kind of your low budget approach to your wedding, maybe you want to do something really, really nice. You got your money flowing, things are popping, you got some money saved. You've been married for 5 years, and
Do you have any kids?
maybe one.
What are you trying to do then?
Like, go have a party in the Caribbean, or maybe do that reception that you really wanted to do the last time.
Okay,
or-
so you could do a destination vow renewal, maybe.
Right.
And the
something like that.
destination weddings aren't bad either. They're kind of all inclusive, and it's kind of a mini vacation for your family and friends.
Right.
My school of thought is I would like to pay for people that are in my wedding. So that depends on, once again, your budget. But you can get really good travel deals that you can do destination weddings with, a nice group of people and have a group vacation to celebrate your vows.
Yeah. But so I think the overall point is that you start your life off together, start your life out debt-free or as close as you can to it.
That would be nice.
And that way you've set yourself up for a fantastic life the rest of your time together.
Yeah, you kind of check that box. It's not going to solve all your issues, but it'll delete some issues.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. Well, it was a good discussion, baby.
All right.
Did we talk about everything you want to discuss today?
For today, we did.
Nice. Thanks again for listening today, folks. If you liked any of what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. Tell a friend, too. And you can engage us at heathandtracy.com for all the goings-on in our world. Queen Tracy, speak to the people.
Bye, loves.